they already knew that I was getting released. They said we on our way. I cried. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't. It wasn't tears of joy. It was tears of scaredness. Like, oh man, I'm about to go home. Like, what I'm gonna do? I had a plan.
Hey everybody, my name is Dwayne. I want to welcome you to FLIP, which stands for Flee Living in Prison. Whether it be mental or physical, we are a local nonprofit organization. We serve the community. We're serving returning citizens, and we're serving at-risk youth. As we get started, I want to ask everybody to introduce themselves. As you introduce yourselves, and just tell them how much time you did and how long you've been out. We start with Bruce.
How you doing? My name is Bruce Terrell. I've done 20 years. I've been home 3 weeks.
Fresh, he's fresh. When I say fresh, they would say that's fresh meat. That's what they would say. All right, Craig.
Hello, my name is Craig Thompson. Altogether, I did 25 years. I've been home for 9 years.
9 years.
And I have a successful transportation business.
My name is Dwayne Proctor, and okay, I did 13 years. I've been home about 23 years now as well.
My name Raymond Jackson. Altogether, I did 20 years, and I've been home for 18 months.
My name is Willie Outlaw, and I've done 10 years, 5 in DC Department of Corrections and 5 in Maryland Department of Corrections.
So he's detail oriented. See, he give you where he did his time at, and what location, what's the address out? I was just saying.
Start to the end.
He real detail. Okay, but the reason we wanted to share how much time we did was because think about all the time combined. That's 91 years of time that we've done combined in 50 years of being home. That last number is the most important. 50 years of success. That's why I say this is an expert panel. And what we are trying to do is give our young people a different outlook, to see things differently. My first question tonight, and I'm gonna go to Bruce since he's fresh meat, he's fresh out. How did it feel, man, when you first came out them gates? Tell us how that felt.
Undescribable feeling. Happy.
So were you scared, apprehensive? How, what was going through your mind as far as thinking you're gonna succeed and things like that?
I'm not scared, just ready to get to it.
Just ready to get to it.
For me, ready to get to it.
That's it. So I'm asking everybody that same question. How did it feel when y'all first came home? Craig?
When I got released from Lee County Penitentiary, I was ecstatic because a lot of people wrote me off. So when I did come home, get on the bus, I had a situation where I went on a 27-day hunger strike. So with that, I'm a spiritual person. When that happened, it just made me look at life totally different. And then when I showed up and showed out, I went to the halfway hour. They sent my money in increments. And I just got to the plan that I had. I had a plan. And that's what a lot of people, my grandfather always taught me, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's so true. If you don't have a plan on any type of situation or structure, you're gonna fall on your face because you can't do it on a day-by-day basis. You can't. You can live on a day-by-day basis, but you can't be successful and productive. Each day that you wake up, thank God, and get to what your plan is. Because if you don't, you're going to just think, look in the air and say, fall on me. You know what I mean? And that's some real stuff. And people need to realize nothing is going to be given to you. If you don't have a plan, nobody wants to hear what you have to say. If you don't have discipline, nobody wants to see what you have to say. So you got to stick with what you know. And I always tell Wayne, I always told you, VDD, vision, determination, and discipline. If you got them three, you'll be successful in anything you do.
Man,
It was because I got released during COVID. So all the prisons in, well, I'm gonna say in the United States was locked down. So to have God come to my cell door and he said, Jackson, are you ready to go home? So I was like, man, just give me a shower. I'm ready to just take my shower because we had been locked down for like a week. And he was like, so you don't want to go home? And I was like, yeah, I want to go home, but stop playing.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, nah. He said, do you have a ride? How you gonna get home? Are you gonna catch a bus or do you have a ride? So I was like, thinking he playing, I'm gonna catch the bus. So he said, okay, you gonna catch the bus. So when he left and went to go try to get the bus tickets, I guess it was sold out or something like that. So when he came back, he said, well, unfortunately, there's no bus tickets. Do you have somebody to call to come and get you? So I was like, yeah, call this number. He said, nah, you come and call the number. He opened the door and I was scared to come out the cell because it was like reality started to set in that I'm about to go home. So anyway, to make a long story short, I called home. They already knew that I was getting released. They said we on our way. I cried. You know what I mean? Because I couldn't. It wasn't tears of joy. It was tears of scaredness. Like, oh man, I'm about to go home. Like, what I'm gonna do? I had a plan, right? But it still was the reality that I had came in as a juvenile and I was finally being free. They placed me in the lobby to wait for my ride, and I was seeing the officers come to and fro. And they was like, oh, you going home, huh? And I was scared to tell them like, yeah, I'm going home because I felt like they about to say, we were just playing. Come on, you going back. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that I had because I had been in prison so long. I was actually scared to step outside the door and just to even look to get some fresh air. So when I seen the vehicle that was coming to pick me up, my family, this right here gonna blow y'all mind. I grabbed my things, I went to the car. So naturally, what do you do when you see you haven't seen somebody that you haven't seen in a long time? You want to what?
A hug or?
I told him, get back in the car, let's go. I told him, get back in the car, let's go. Like my mom, everybody looking at me like, what's going on? I said, nah, come on, let's go. So they looking at me, they see the serious face on it, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's not until we got outside the prison gates and to the gas station that I actually gave him a hug because I realized that I was free. So to answer your question, I was a little uneasy.
Yeah. What about you, Al? How was yours?
So I had kind of had a plan that I was gonna come home and just get into some positive stuff. So if I get into some positive stuff, the negative stuff won't be enticing to me. So, and that's I was in Project Empowerment, and I was in they had another program. I got a job with Project Empowerment, working for Behavior Research Associates. They handle people with special needs, right? So then I had an issue with the IRS. So when I came home, some issues came down on me about money. Basically, first of all, my kids, she came back. When you owe me back child support, she runs off the free. You know what I'm saying? And then the IRS sent me a notice. I owed them $88,000. So I'm like, I sit there and prayed. I said, God, what you trying to tell me? You telling me get back to that what I used to do, or figure out a way? So, buddy of mine sent me to this dude. And I told him, I said, man, I just came home. I can't pay you, but I need to do these taxes. IRS, they say I owe 88. He said, okay, well, he took everything from me. So that's what made me say, I gotta learn that. So that's when I went to. So I got in H&R Block class. That's why I started taking that class to learn how to do taxes. Same time working at Behavior Research Associates for $10 an hour. Then I started driving Uber, just trying to get
Make it
comfortable.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
Give yourself some options.
Yeah.
That's key because when I first came, I was like, I came home from my mind. I think being in, most of us was in one of the most dangerous prisons ever, right? So my mindset was, am I gonna make it out? That's my thing. Either get more time or die in here, because it was violent at that time. It was that bad. But when I got released from Lewisburg. Now you gotta remember, Lewisburg was another dangerous. It's shut down now because of prison riot. And so, man, when my best friend, he came pick me up, so they handcuff you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that's protocol. I'm supposed to be going home. Why are you handcuffing me? I'm like, you walking me down to the gate. Why I gotta be handcuffed? I'm free. So my mind, like, how we think, do I got another charge somewhere?
What's going on? Right.
Yeah, what the heck? You know what I mean? Because you do so much out in the street, you don't know what. I thought this charge was dropped. They didn't. What was weird for me was when my friend came and got me, that I get in the car, I don't think I said a whole lot of words on the way home.
Mm-hmm.
It was like shut in. Mentally, it was just like,
You just be trying to get
and he kept saying, you okay? You okay? You okay?
It's anxiety. It's anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. And I didn't know what it was. We're gonna deal with that, but it's like the first question was, so what you want to come ask y'all that? What was the first thing y'all wanted to do for me? I just wanted a Pizza Hut. Just
A piece of two.
see, my thing was Pizza Hut. What was the first thing you wanted
Mine
to
was
do?
Papa
The
John's.
first thing that I wanted, because I had told you, I embraced them at the gas station. So, and for some reason, I wanted to pump gas. I wanted to pump the gas. Like, you know what I mean? So, when I was walking in the store, that's another thing. The guy scared me because he looking at me like, why you walking around like you ain't never been in a store before? But he didn't know that I haven't been in a store in over 20 years, 18 and a half at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I was paying attention to everything, unbeknownst to me that everybody else is watching me too. You see what I'm saying? So they asked me, what you want? So I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat. It was like, I was like, I'm good. They said, you good. Like, you don't want no crab cakes. You don't want no lobster tail. You don't want no, like you said, I didn't say a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching everything. I couldn't eat. I couldn't eat for like a day or two. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, I still was like, I didn't know I was free.
So I remember when you first came, you was talking about the Walmart incident. You want to elaborate on that?
I love Walmart. Walmart like a club to me. So I go to Walmart. My sister, she set me up the whole time. So she recorded me. I got a buggy full of stuff, probably like 20-something items. So I go to the checkout. I don't know how to check stuff out really. So I take the little gun thing.
Yeah.
So I'm taking one item at a time, swiping it, one item at a time, trying to swipe it. I don't even know, like you said, there's people behind me laughing. My sister over there on the corner, she like this, laughing. She said, "Nah, look, just take it, hit the box. Just take it, hit the box." So you should have told me that 7 items ago. I'm saying looking stupid.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing freeze tag with this little zapper thing. It's a whole lot I gotta learn. I don't know how to use the phone really. Everything needs a email.
Yeah.
Like everything needs an email.
So how does that affect you, like mentally?
At first, it felt like I was slow.
So again, I asked that question. So what was, anybody can answer this, were there any fears? If so, what was your greatest fears when you first came home? If you had.
My greatest fear, because I popped out because literally I had time in Maryland when I left the feds and they didn't have a detainer on me. So I got out and I went straight to my house and I said, man, if I catch a dude over here, I said, man, it's gonna be hell to pay. And luckily I came and she was in there cooking. I said, man, I don't like you cooking for a lot of people. Who am I cooking for? I ain't cooking for nobody, man, again. I said, oh, okay. And when it settled down, I was like, okay, ain't nobody wearing no shoes and all. Cause you know, in jail, she was coming faithfully. Like, people was hating me in the penitentiary because we had visits Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I didn't miss a beat. I went up every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Thank you, Dee Dee, you know what I'm saying? Because guess what? They thought I was a celebrity. So, if you have a plan, you're gonna move forward. If you don't, you're gonna be stagnated. And if you don't have that family or somebody to embrace you, to have, like he had his sister. Even though she was filming him, she's still assistant. You have to have assistance.
That support system.
If you don't have assistant and that support system, you're doomed with anything. And now that we're here flipped, we're giving and reaching out and pulling. So if you got a family member that need assistance, you're like, hey, snatch them up, because a closed mouth don't get fed.
And that's so important, that support system when we first come home. I think that in and of itself put us on a path of success. You know what I mean? So that's so important. Like my fear was, how am I going to make money now? Like, I went to school, I took all these trades, you know, we were in college.
Yeah.
I have all of this, but how do you apply it? My mind is like, and then you get the anxiety. Yeah. And so it's like, but I gotta get my whole thing, I gotta get some money. All us from the streets, that's all we thought about, money. Money. And so I was like, to survive, money. So then when I end up I look for a job, got a job my first week. I went up in there, I was like, well, they was like, back then it was 2002. He said, how much you want? He asking for. I said, $12. It's like, you want $12 an hour? I said, yeah. He said, I'll give you $9. Okay. I was the happiest man because God said to me, if you can handle a little struggle, because what I'm used to having, if I can handle a little struggle, just a little bit, I'll survive. So in my mind, okay, $9 was a blessing. I took $300 a week, made $300 a week, made it work. And so for me, my fears after that was like, okay, I'm good. Now I know in my mind I'm a worker, I'm not lazy, I'm gonna put in the work, and eventually I'm gonna climb.
Well, you know, in relation to what you just said about the 300, right? It's really easy for a person, I believe, that has come from prison when you're making $12 cents an hour.
Yeah, that's
versus, you know what I'm saying? So if you get, so you should be able to come home and manage with the bare minimum.
If we don't have bills.
But for a second. Yeah. You know what I mean? But to answer your question, my fear when I came home was not being able to adapt to society. Like, because my normal was abnormal to society. So that was my fear. You know what I mean? Like, I had, you know, went to college while I was took some college courses, I should say. Had all type of different certifications to prepare me so I can be a civilian. But that abnormal situation that I was accustomed to, that I had grew accustomed to, that had became normal to me, it was still there, right? And I didn't. My mom said something to me one time, right? And it kind of threw me off. And she said this, Craig. She said, "I just hope that society be kind to my baby." And I'm like, this is. I'm looking at her. I'm like, you must don't know who your son is. You better hope that your son be kind to society. You know what I'm saying? But as I got older, I kind of understood what she meant by that. And what I take from what she said was, I hope my baby can adapt and people will allow him at a pace, you know what I'm saying, at his own pace to adapt to what's going on out here in the world, and not judge him and not hurt him.
And that's what we're going through, like, say with Bruce, right? want to make sure, that, like he was saying, let Bruce be him and not us forcing him
Let
to
him
become.
move at his own pace.
You know what I mean? We're just saying because he's fresh out, that anxiety can kick in because like it's like I had something to prove, right?
Right.
But having something to prove can put you under a lot of pressure and stress too.
Right. Right.
So that's why that pace, it matters of you going at your own pace. That's why that support is good too. Remember, because that support will allow you to go at a pace other than where everybody else will be pushing you at. So by saying that, my question is this, and we talked about this when we were talking, I don't know if we mentioned it here, but Craig, we said it again, when most people come home from prison, they deal with, what's the term?
PTSD.
Most people deal with that psychologically. They don't know that people come home from prison deal with that. So my question to you guys is, should we or should returning citizens have some kind of psychological evaluation or seek counseling upon returning to society or before? Either or. This is another thing I really want to touch on because I've talked to guys before and I say, and they're still in the street. So I'll say, man, but you can do this and you can do that and you can do that. And the biggest excuse I get is, I gotta take care of my family. What do you think of that statement?
Well, I look at it like this. Well, initially, the question was, do you think that people need counseling when they come out? That was the initial question.
Yes.
Then you jumped to
Something else.
Yeah.
But go back to the initial, then we'll come back to that.
Well, me personally, you know what I mean? Like the experiences in which I experienced at a very young age, not just in prison, but coming from the street. You know, it's not normal for a 13 and upward to kill somebody and then like go by their normal day. That's not normal. I don't care how many times we may see it. Was 8 billion people in the world, and that's a few instances that happens throughout a day, right? So fast forward, when you go to prison, it's still not normal for you to see a dude get knifed down. You see what I'm saying? If you constantly seeing violence, whether you accept it or not, you'll have post-traumatic syndrome. That's what PTSD is, post-traumatic syndrome. So regardless of, you accepting your diagnosis, but that's what it is. So I believe that the locking of being in a cell or the whole, which is isolation from everybody, that right there psychologically, you know what I'm saying, damages you.
Yeah.
No matter, like, I done been in the hole for years. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's nothing. I'm just yelling you down the hall. Dwayne, what's up? What they doing out there? That's what I want to know. I want to know what they doing on the pound, Craig. You know what I'm saying? Not really crying out for help because I'm cool. This just a part of the process. This I'm cool with it. I'm kicked back. Hey, slide that book. Hey, yo, get that book from such and such and such. You know what I'm saying?
Still dealing with that now. I go to work, come home, go to the room because I'm just like used to.
It's gonna take some time. But the answer to the question is, a lot of dudes think that they are normal coming home. We not normal.
Not at all.
We not normal. We wasn't normal going in.
Because
A lot of us.
and that's the key, because what we trying to get young people to understand is that, okay, you gangster in the street, you doing this and that, you doing that, but there's a psychological effect that takes place when you're in there, and you're not going to see it or feel it until you come home.
Right.
I remember, it's a true story. I came home, I'm fresh out. I'm in the gym, you know, you want to stay fit, you come out like, hey, look, he buff right now. So he fresh, go ahead, show him the guns, it's okay. But look, but we want to, I go in the gym, I'm still in prison too. I'm like, you know, I just come out, it's Upper Marlboro, little gym under the apartment building. Guy come, they say, you using this? I'm like, yeah, I'm using it, but I walk over to the things. Two dudes, they come and they rough it.
Yeah.
I just come home.
Right.
Yeah.
But I ain't know I'm trying to stay home.
Yeah.
But mentally, I'm like, I stand over top of them. I said, I'm using this. But then I'm like, dang, I could have went back. Cause two dudes, they could have banged me out, whatever. It's like, whatever. But mentally, I'm still, this would mess me up at. Prison for me created insecurity. I was so insecure. I had no idea, and paranoia. Those two. Y'all can be in a conversation over there minding y'all business. And I walk by, like, them dudes, they talking about me. What they saying about me? Y'all ain't thinking about me.
Right.
That's what it did to me. Them dudes, they come wash their car, they in the car wash. I get on the phone. Hey, Slim, come around the corner, bring me something. For what, Wayne? These dudes, they at the car wash. They, you know, Wayne, they washing their car. And that's all they was doing. They sitting in the cut, hitting, and they ain't even think. But for me, that was, because remember, Lorton, because, you know, like, we got dudes, they slept on their bunk, not under the cover, with their clothes on and alert. Like Occoquan, somebody was getting stabbed every day. So now our senses are up. We still in survival mode.
Certain environments gonna bring that stuff back anyway. I mean, I go to the gym now like that. You know, you go to the gym now, you see dudes, they all this rap, and coming from us, we work out. We don't talk in the gym.
No, we sure don't.
I gotta listen to what the dude said. Can I work out with you? I said, nah, I'm gonna use this machine now. He went into this whole spiel about you selfish. I mean, he started laughing, man. And I'm sitting there, I'm saying, and then this is when I first came home. So I got a knife on me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you still carrying a knife? Oh my God! You still carrying a knife?
Certain environments, we don't do things that we always did. So when I go in the gym, I got a knife on me. It just was what I do. And I probably don't never need. I was telling them to do their work. He said, man, why you always got these knives? I said, man, it's
habit.
It's habit, right?
Yeah.
So the psychological, again, that goes back to what prison is training you to think. So you gotta kind of like break that mold. And that's why I think counseling, some of us look at counseling as something soft or whatever. Right, but it can be important too.
Nah, counseling is great. You know, I was one of them guys that, you know, until, you know, my significant other was like, you know what, you think you should look into counseling? I'm like, man, I'm cool. Y'all don't know what you talking about. Who you talking about? Like, you saying I'm crazy? So that's what we associate counseling with. Craziness. People that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we want to be as normal to the people and to ourselves also, you know what I'm saying, as much as possible. So if you're going to go see Dr. Suzanne over there, which is a psychologist, nah, you fucked up, Slim. You can't eat. Or you standing in the field line like you ain't. I used to think that like, damn, Slim gone. You know, he was a hell of a dude. Yeah. But his value has depreciated because he going to go talk to somebody that's, you know what I'm saying, a counselor. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's supposed to help people that's what? Associated with what? Crazy. So now, so Slim, Craig ain't the Craig no more that I know. Because he gonna go see Dr. Suzanne. You know what I'm saying? So now, my level of respect go down for Craig, but Craig's still Craig. He just needs to talk to somebody that's gonna give him some type of rationalization and understanding of what he may be perceiving. You know what I'm saying? So and my little cousin, man, had died 2 years ago. Got killed coming off a school bus, right? And his dad, you know, I was going through, I was locked up. So I told his dad, man, I said, cuz, I'm gonna tell you something that I don't never tell nobody, right? But I'm going to counseling. You know what I'm saying? Trying to prepare myself for society. And I think that you need to go to counseling too, because you got so much bottled up. You know what I'm saying? You got so much bottled up, and when it's time to release that stuff that's bottled up, it ain't gonna come out right. You know what I'm saying? So try to go and talk to somebody about your issue, because you talking to me, but I ain't no, you know, licensed physician. I can't really. I'm gonna tell you, man, be man enough to tell you, man, go ahead and do that, because, and guess what? You gonna be a better man. Because that's what I feel after me talking to somebody. I feel as though that I'm a better man, because it gave me a sense of normalcy, if that makes sense.
And it makes you, really, counseling helps you understand why you reacted a certain way. That's what it's so, I remember last time I was here, Phyllis said something. She said, I need to see this, because she's talking about all the stuff I do. I said, just like before I came here, right? I wouldn't have been on time, but one of my neighbors, you know I'm a notary too, right? So one of my neighbors called me and said, man, I need some notarized. So I gotta get that dub before I come here. And that's part of my character fault. You know what I'm saying? Always chasing the dollar. And that's just, you know, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I need to go pay nobody to tell me that, because I already know it. You know what I'm saying? I know my issues. You know what I'm saying? My issues is, if I'm not getting some money, I'm gonna feel a little anxiety. So how I deal with it is to find a way to get some money. Just like
everybody, we get a little anxious. We need that money.
When you was talking about the courier thing, I'd already saw limbs. I'd seen the breakdown, and I'm always want to shoot for the top money. So I said, shit, because I done already took the seats out of my Sprinter just to see how fast I can get them out and put them back in. I said, shit, I get that medical. I don't care about them perks. Load me up. As long as I got to put them on the side of my vehicle, he got them perks in there. You know what I'm saying? I do that.
And you don't got to put nothing on the side. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing wrong with getting you some money.
Right.
That's what's gonna keep you out the way and keep you out here in the street. That's how I feel.
That's for me. That's the same way. If I'm getting some money,
stay busy.
I ain't gonna break no law.
Man, you getting some money, and you can get and can't nobody tell me out here that you can't survive off doing a legal hustle. Nobody in the United States of America, you can't tell me that.
You make more.
Yeah, because guess what?
That's the key. Because see, they put that out in the media on these television shows. They make it look good, slinging and all this and that. I ain't never owned a house when I was slinging. Never had my car paid for when I was. I think I'm gonna tell that story. But what I'm saying, I ain't never owned a house. I never thought. Somebody told me when I was locked up. And that's good too, mentorship. That's so key. If you can get mentors, and then God told me, he's like, Dwayne, well, you can work a job and own a house. That did not register. They don't know that.
That's because how we looked at it, I was talking to some dudes, you know, I used to live on 25th Street, right? So them little houses, when we was kids, we lived in apartments, right? So them houses look so fucking big. And now, 30 years later, you're like, I'm a little teeny motherfucker.
It's a big difference, right?
Yeah, it's just, man, life is, the main thing is exposure. If you've been exposed, then you can make decisions on what it takes to get to a certain level. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I live in a town for myself, and everybody says, man, live by myself, because I like living by myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I'm saying? And one of my old timers, OG, I went to see him yesterday, he 84, he said, he always say, man, how you with your nut? That's your monthly is what, for people like me, what your monthly expenses for. How many, you know, your mortgage, your car note, your insurance, that's your monthly nut. So you got to be able to get that to really be comfortable living. If you straining and juggling it, and then you see, I tell this story, with me being in electrical apprenticeship. When an apprenticeship, that's the best thing that happened to me. I tell people all the time. Because it taught me discipline. I had to go to school, and I had to listen to white people talk to me all the time. And I had to kind of refrain myself to get past that, to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? And after a while, you know, it's you understand. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I heard somebody also talk about. we coming home, we have to learn how to get people past this.
Yeah.
You really have to, actually, you have to, what's the word? Train yourself
Yeah.
to give people passes. The things that you wouldn't accept, you accept it, but it doesn't make you a weaker. I always tell somebody, like, for example,
Makes you smarter.
yes, and I know, for example, say, I'm just giving an example. You go off on me, but you don't know me, but you go off on me. You already lost. Because in my mind, I know you don't know me. So I got you. So now, he don't know better.
Let it go.
That's why he got the pass. He don't know, but then I'm like, oh, he already lost. Because I know, because I don't talk a lot. When you're really doing that, you know, then you gotta look at them, okay, so now I'm learning, like, well, what is he going through? So you gotta look at that too now. It's like, this person, we don't look at it, we get offended. Ah! Man, what that dude going through? He going through something, or he may be experiencing some kind of difficulty. Somebody could have lost a loved one or anything. You know, I know it's a little different environment we're in now, because we always talk about, you know, the Gen Zs and how they current, but still they going through something too, right?
Yeah.
Their home, then maybe the upbringing or what they're experiencing as well. So it's just the root problem. So again, like, I wanted to ask one more question. I think we'll probably close out on this note.
Okay.
So was it easy or difficult for you to socialize with people when you get into environments, having conversations, and be able to be in like a professional environment? How did you function in that environment like that?
I'm a sociable person to my people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
So
it can be the gang. We the gang, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
We all the same.
and we in an environment, we in a social setting with other people,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna feel more comfortable with dealing with my people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I'll deal with other people to a certain extent, but in the back of my mind is, you know, and I'm still working on this, is what type of time is nigga on?
Mhm.
What type of time this person on? You know what I mean? And I'm always, but my gang, we good.
Yeah. Somebody.
Ain't nobody on nothing with
Right.
my gang. But I fairly deal good with people because of the field that I'm in.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's always to a certain extent. I'm never going to fully assert myself, give you all of me. I'm never going to give you all of me. I have to, and that comes from being in prison where we survive 99.9% of the time by reading body language. So you can, I don't listen to what a person tell me. You know what I'm saying? I sit back and I watch them. Because that's what we was taught to do, to survive. You know what I mean? So, and anywhere that I go, the first thing I'm looking for is an exit. How we can get up out of this joint.
Wait,
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Oh, Slim drinking a lot, and he real vulgar with it. He real aggressive. I'm gonna stay away from Slim. Let's get over here, y'all.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, in my head, I already know what I'm gonna do if I have to do it. You know what I'm saying? You just getting this liquid courage, and I pray that you don't do nothing to me and the gang. You know what I'm saying? Because and this also is something that I had to get accustomed to out here in society was, you know, a lot of people just be moving by their day and they be so comfortable, but the things that they do from the environments that we've been in, it can get them hurt. And it may get them, you know, hurt to where you might get banged up a little bit, or it can get them hurt to the point where they can lose their life. You see what I'm saying? So I had to build up a tolerance, and it's not even really to where I needed to be. It has gotten better through time and awareness, but people, you know, out here, They do a lot of disrespectful stuff
Yeah.
that can really, and I had to realize that you're not in the joint no more.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not in the joint no more.
Yeah.
You out here in the world,
And it's beautiful.
yeah, and it's, oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love
Young
it out
people,
here.
we try to tell you,
Yeah.
it's a different
Yeah.
world out here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I
It's
know
lovely.
it's scary at first, but when you learn to live on the other side, flip. That's what we try and get you to do. Flip. Live on the other side. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So, what about you?
And we definitely have to watch, and like I say, you have to change your way of thinking, but you definitely have to watch the people that you associate with, because deep down inside, you don't know what people are doing. You don't know what they're into. And association can bring humiliation, especially when you got that bullseye of being a returning citizen, because people don't realize it's rough, but it can be made and it can be successful if you put a team together. So you have to allow your intuition to kick in a lot of times more than not. What is he doing or what you're seeing? Because if you don't watch what you're seeing and what people are doing, you're easily gonna get caught up and you're gonna return. And that's the problem that a lot of people are having now, because they're not doing the crime or they're not violating. It's the people that are around them, and they take that hit because they want to be stand-up guys. It's good, stand on your 10, but you can eliminate that from the onstart by just picking and choosing who. Like, I don't be with nobody. I know a lot of people, but my circle is very small, because people will say, oh, I know Craig. Yeah, you know me, but I know not to be around certain areas, and I'm not saying I'm better than nobody. It's just that I like out here. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, I'm licensed right now.
You got too much to do.
Yeah, too much to do.
Too much.
People frown because their money funny. When your money ain't funny, you smiling all the time. So if you ever see somebody smiling, I know why you upset. Your money funny.
But listen, but you still got to get beyond that from us that been in the street and had money, that's not why you smiling.
No, but again, a lot of people upset because here's the thing about finance. Finance don't have to be fired. Finance can be just knowing that your bills are going to be paid when it's going to be paid. Exactly. Or it can be that you're on that level.
But if your bills don't get paid, what's going to happen?
You're going to jump.
You get frustrated.
And then
you know what I mean?
Frustrated.
You ain't going to be selling no more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's a hustler. Like, some people need jobs, right? Because they need a 2-week payment. They need a week payment. They know that they're going to get paid. Other people are hustlers and they know how to make a way. But it's a good hustle and it's a not so good hustle. So if your hustle is working for you, then you know what I mean, do it, as long as it ain't breaking the law. And that's where flip comes inside, because again, you have hustle. Like, I don't have a job. I have a company, but I don't have a job. So tomorrow, I don't know what might come if I don't get, but I have multiple streams of income coming in. And once you know how, and that's that plan that we talked about earlier. And that's why I stay smiling.
But you know what's so good? They say most prisoners, people that come home,
We hungry.
and returning citizens,
Hungry.
we're some of the most smartest, the
Resourceful.
most creative. If we just take and pull what we have and put it together, well, all of us now, business owners, I don't never want to glorify selling drugs, but some of the principles of it can be used in your business.
Exactly.
Of course.
It is.
Of course. I have a scale upstairs.
You have a
I have a scale upstairs.
Right.
And one time I was looking at the scale, same scale was using,
Triple beam. Yeah.
Right.
but these are different.
Now they got the-
These are different things
I deal with drugs every day.
every day.
More drugs than probably a person never dealt with in their whole entire life. You know what I'm saying? But they legal drugs. You know what I'm saying? I got buddies that is pharmacists that sell drugs, but he's selling what? Legal drugs. So it's and my thing is like this: the hustle. Whether you got a car service, whether you're an electrician, or whether you just making tea. The hustle is the hustle.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? The ambition of you getting the job done, it don't matter whether you on the street or if you're in the corporate world, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's right, because now we looking at, because some look at, well, business owners, that's not the glory for that, because you got people, my best friend here, crane operator, making bank.
Yeah,
And people look like, what? He's a crane operator.
yeah.
That's big. Little stuff like that. We diminish certain positions and certain
People
jobs.
No, see, with the crane operator, I'm in construction.
Mhm.
So I know what they get 75 hours. I know because
Yeah.
I'm in the construction business.
Mhm.
So Lavelle in the position he in, it's not a lot of black crane operators either.
Hell no.
I'm telling you,
Mhm.
it's not a lot.
Mhm.
So he you know,
Yeah.
every time I see him, I'll be like,
Yeah,
that's
because
right.
we look, but again, all of us is looking at how the entertainment media glorify
Yeah.
But
certain jobs.
certain things.
But I'd like to piggyback off of what you said, Outlaw, and it's not a bunch of car services. Black men that own their own car
That's
services.
right, it sure
It's
is.
not a lot of black men that own anything.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it might be, you know, very few crane operators, but it's just a whole very few lot of black men that own something, period.
Listen, y'all, that was such our good first episode. And I tell you, our whole goal is that our young people, even returning citizens, those that are in the street, in that life, that they can learn something from these podcasts. We'd like to thank everybody for watching this podcast. I mean, this was such a wonderful conversation. We really hope that you can share this video with somebody who you might be able to save their lives with the information that we provided. Again, our organization is called FLIP, which means Flee Living in Prison, whether it be mental or physical. Understanding that once we can get you to flee mental bondage, you won't have to worry about physical bondage. And so if you would like more information about our organization, you can visit our website at www.fleeprison.com, or you can check the description box below if you want to learn more information about our organization. So if you like this video, could you please like, share, and subscribe? Thanks for your time.